Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. And in our top stories today from the New York Post, New York Fire Department turns up heat on firefighters who cheered Trump, booed Letitia James, with scolding internal letter. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I also have a video short if you guys want to see the actual interaction. The New York Fire Department brass is turning up the heat on pro-Trump firefighters who showered State Attorney General Letitia James with booze at a raucous promotion ceremony, a memo obtained by the Post reveals. Now, this is a ceremony for firefighters. It shouldn't be about the people speaking so much as the firefighters themselves. The memo handed out at a Big Apple Firehouse Sunday warns firefighters that department investigators are reviewing video footage of the event in Brooklyn last week to ID those behind the grossly inappropriate conduct and caution them to keep their politics at home. Fascinating, isn't it? The left never holds itself to the same standards they expect from everyone else. When the Supreme Court makes a decision, oh, it's politics if it doesn't go their way. Or if you say things and do things, think things, write things that they don't agree with, then they go after you. But they're able to express what they want to express, and when they do, they defend it. They protect it. They double down on it. When you're not on duty, feel however you want about politicians. Oh, well, isn't that great? They now have permission to feel and do what they want to do when they're not at work. The document said, vote, protest, that's your right, but don't do it on the job's time, on other members' time, or on their family's time. Do it on your own time. Fascinating, isn't it? They're in their church. They're in a church, which Letitia James had to remind them of, so the behavior still has to be within their parameters, within their scope, or else. It's absolutely amazing. Now, there's an additional article that I wanted to add to this, too. Boss hunts down staffers. It's just the language here, hunting down staffers who booed New York Attorney General Letitia James, cheered for Trump at promotion ceremony. It's their ceremony? I mean, Commissioner Laura Kavanagh is hunting down smoke eaters and other staffers who mercilessly booed. Oh, really? Have they taken a moment to see what they're doing to Donald Trump and his family? Have they ever taken a moment to recognize what they're doing? You see, again, like I said, when it's their standards, it's perfectly fine. You know, they can do what they want. But when you go against what they perceive as the standard, then you're the one who's in trouble. So the New York Chief of Department, John Hodges, fired off an email. Of course, we read that earlier about the agency. And then, of course, well, that was basically just the difference there in that particular article because, so it's basically the one I read was actually updated, and then we have this one here. But I just wanted to share both. But here is, here is a tweet that came out, too. The boss hunts down staffers who booed AG. So this was going very viral, obviously, across all of social media. And so here we have, meet Laura Kavanagh, the fire commander of the New York City Fire Department, and the woman who started the investigation into firefighters who booed Letitia James and chanted for Trump. She was appointed by Mayor Eric Adams and has never been a firefighter herself. Imagine that. And they were saying the same thing about Pete Buttigieg and other members of Biden's admin that have no experience in the areas that he appointed them. It's absolutely amazing, is it not? She worked on many political campaigns for Democrats and even oversaw the complete diversification of the New York Fire Department. Her office has made it clear that anyone who was involved in booing James will be educated on proper conduct. Wow, re-education camps, just like they do in China. Isn't that amazing? This is why I say, or we have talked about here on the BuzWeaver channel, they keep talking about we got to protect democracy. What they're saying is they have to protect authoritarian democracy that they have created, that they're in power of, that's very communist-like. It's very much communist. And the way they control language, the way they, use that Stalinize our language, and the fact that they have hijacked our culture, hijacked our institutions, it's absolutely amazing. And as I said earlier about standards, they just do what they want and then apply whatever they dislike against you. Why is a woman who's never served as a firefighter serving as the commander? Well, there is so much here to unpack in this. It's just absolutely extraordinary. And it's every single day. And as we've talked about here on the channel, every time Trump wins, every victory that Trump gets, the establishment, the left, the Democrats get madder and madder and more desperate and more desperate. The attacks, I'm seeing a lot more attacks on my social media too, in my comment sections. You can always tell when they're losing because they get madder and they attack. And it's extraordinary to see the level that it's been turned up to, especially here on Twitter as well. Because, of course, Twitter was dominated by the left, and now they're angry, of course, that Elon Musk has taken over. And Elon Musk is being pursued also just as much as Donald Trump. So here on Twitter, of course, is where they all used to organize. They all used to group think, decide on who they wanted to boot, who they wanted to ban, who they wanted to persecute. All those things went on here on Twitter. It does a little to an extent within parameters, but at least they can't go complete, full, nonsense, leftist, woke cultists on Twitter. So they've been limited there. So they're very angry about that as well. And, of course, no other platform provides them with that interaction as Twitter does. They've tried others, and, of course, it didn't work very well. But as I said, they do go after me. Not so much here on Twitter anymore. Right? They used to really go after me on Twitter. Not so much now. It seems like more of them kind of more on TikTok, maybe a little bit on YouTube. And for all of you guys wondering why certain posts disappear on YouTube, of course, as I mentioned, I don't post links below because there's issues with links, but also if you use like hashtags or even sometimes emojis and those sorts of things, YouTube will auto-filter those out. So I've had the same problem myself. Someone asked me for my Call of Duty tag so they could add me as a friend, and I put in the hashtag, and now all of my posts to that particular individual are all removed as though it were spam. So, but that's what I have for you guys on this Monday. It's absolutely extraordinary. Thank you for all of you across All New Tech, as well as all you guys here on YouTube. Below this video, you can find the various social media links that I belong to, like Twitter, where you guys can go and, of course, support me there, which is always appreciated. And appearing there on the screen, that would be the channel icon that you guys can click on to subscribe to the channel, of course, if you're watching on YouTube. And then select that, and then you can select to subscribe. Well, obviously subscribe, and then to get notifications. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.